maybe what should we call the fourth job then? So I got lead accountant, record keeper. I wrote Maria down for that.
Then we could have the person that's checking it. We could have them be like a quality control inspector, or
I like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then we just need one more job, and maybe that person can make sure there's no problems. So, like, their job is just to go in and make sure nothing's getting backed up. Nothing, like, machines are running smoothly. We have materials in our inventory. Like, if we're going to run out, we can get more in there early or whatever before the 4 days.
We could have someone set up as being foreman, and they're the ones that actually input the orders, and like you said, just kind of check on stuff. Mm-hmm. And so we'll agree as a team, and we can set parameters as a team, like, okay, if this happens, then we do this. And then, so then there's parameters, so that way the not quality control, the foreman person can go through and make sure they'll have a guide, a little bit of, this is what we want you to do in this situation. You're buying the machine.
Yeah. Okay, so we got lead, accountant, record keeper, quality control, and foreman. Would it make, Benjamin, would you rather be the foreman or the lead, since you feel like I don't know, I feel like you have a good understanding of this already. What do you feel like you would be the most useful as?
So we could adjust the titles, and so we can have one person be the technical analyst, because really we kind of need someone to lead and kind of like orchestrate a little bit. And then we need somebody to also be looking at the data, because, I mean, that's a lot. So then they're not really trying to pull the trigger so much. They're just like, okay, I'm seeing this is happening here. I downloaded the data, put it in Excel, and I'm seeing this. And then as it is, since this is, I feel like I could do either job, but I feel like I'm already kind of in the position of orchestrating, because like I'm hosting the kind of like the Zoom call and the recording, as well as the WhatsApp, trying to keep everybody on the same page.
We can put that job to brother Reese.
Yeah, Reese could be he could be our data analyst. That way, since it's a little bit hard for him to meet on the call, he would be, he can watch this stuff without us. He can check the data and stuff and then analyze it. And we can change this too. I mean, if we find out on Monday, it's like, oh, can we switch or whatever, we can adjust too. I mean, we have 2 absent people, so.
Yeah, I put myself down for quality control,
okay,
just to kind of double check things before it goes out. I changed the foreman to data analyst. Okay. Is that what we wanted?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so then I say we just kind of assign the other 2, either accountant or data analyst, and then if they want to switch or whatever, we can do that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think we can assign for now. I think Maria was saying Reese to be the data analyst. So we can have him do that for now, and then we can have, I think her name was, I think it's a girl. The other one's Reese is a boy, yes, but
her name is Kim.
Kim, yeah, okay. So we can have Kim be the accountant, and they can switch or adjust. We can change it later, but that's just that way we have we have a plan for now.
Okay.
And then I will see how I can get the video, the recording to everybody.
Yeah.
I think it'll be easiest if I can somehow get it to WhatsApp. And then that way everyone can watch it. And that way too, the other two who weren't able to make it can watch it and kind of review it and see what we're talking about a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
So just kind of touch on everything real quick because we started recording a little bit later. We have these 3 stations. We have our customer input. We have our raw inputs. We have our orders out. This machine right here, we noticed that it's already plateaued. We can see that by going to plot utilization. We can see that it's plateaued. He's maxed out. He's gotten this right here is percentage of usage. So this is 80%. Going well over 80%. So we were talking about possibly or likely upgrading this to being a new machine, or sorry, an additional machine, which we can't do until tomorrow, Monday at 6 Mountain Time or Idaho time.
Okay.
But that would be under update. We discussed roles. We're talking about having Reese, our buddy in the Philippines, to monitor things like this, plot utilization, download the data, and then do it in Excel so we can graph it and compare it for each of these things. Every last one of these things that you can click has a data point that we can collect. And so if Reese, you could plot that for us so we could compare all of these things nicely, because as you can see, we have no display. We have to manually click each thing. So it'd be nice if we could pull it up in a spreadsheet form so that way we can all share it and look at it and compare how things are plotting in a nice spreadsheet.
Okay.
And Maria's going to be our recorder. She's going to record everything, and she's going to do the write-up at the end of all this. And Simeon, he's going to be our quality control. He's going to make sure everything's looking right, try to identify any problems.
I had a question. The informal that I have to write is each week or at the end?
My understanding is that there's going to be at least one on Friday. When this whole thing's going to wrap up on Friday. For this round, I suspect we're going to play this game throughout the semester. But for starters, it's just going to go from Monday to Friday. And then we're going to have a review.
Okay.
And so
that means that I have to send the review to all of you on Friday, early Friday?
I think it closes later on Friday. So
we have to wait that close?
Yeah, that would probably be best, because my understanding is that like around the same time on Friday as it started on Monday, so 6 p.m. Idaho time, it's going to end. And then the rest of the time, it's going to wrap up like 50 days or whatever, automatically, instantaneously. So about 6 p.m. Idaho time, you should be able to see everything that happened. And so Maria's going to be trying to record, kind of showing our thought processes and that we're putting in thoughtful inputs into our decision making here.
Okay.
And then she's going to write all that up, and we'll need to, it says in there that we all need to review what she writes up, because her paper is going to be pretty important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can add anything any idea to.
Yeah. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, our other teammate is Kim. And so Kim, your job is going to be, you're going to be the accountant. And so we get some interest. You'll need to figure out what that interest is, but we get a lot of interest on the money in the account. And so we get penalized whenever we buy these machines. We're not getting that revenue from our interest here. But if we don't buy a machine and we get a bottleneck, then we're not getting jobs completed on time, so we're getting a ding that way. And so as an accountant, Kim, we're thinking that you could go through and just try to help us figure out if we're making good decisions financially, what the cost is. You're like, here you can see the cost of the machine, Kim. It'll right here, it shows you that this getting a new machine here is going to be $90,000. And so then you would remove the $90,000 from our bank account, and then you could use Excel to plot the interest lost versus the rebates we'd have to pay for the machine being backed up and things taking longer to get out. So this, sometimes I'm trying to like talk at Kim or Reese because they're not here, and I want them, this is going to be recorded, this is being recorded, and then I'm going to put it in WhatsApp so that you guys can watch it and be on the same page.
But, real fast, one thing that I feels like is important to say is the person who has like the job or whatever, it's not like specifically their job only to do that thing. So like all of us are still going to contribute.
Or we have to work together to check together.
Yeah. So like if Kim is feeling overwhelmed with accounting, like I wouldn't mind jumping over and meeting with her and be like, hey, look, what's the problem? What can I help with? Or Benjamin, if you can't make it to a meeting, maybe you could reach out to Maria and be like, hey, can you host this Zoom meeting for me or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that way we're all working together.
That's the idea.
I agree.
Something, if I'm not doing my job, like because my kids are sick, maybe I just haven't had a chance to get over there, and you guys have a meeting, I'm not there, I just message like, hey guys, sorry, I can't make it. I don't know how long we'll be sick, but probably just a few more days. But regardless, that way you guys, we all know that like if one person's not doing it, we're not going to fall behind because we're all still responsible. It's not like, oh well, Simeon didn't do his job, so now we won't have quality control. We'll just send out an abomination to the world.
Don't make me laugh.
Those are really good points. Thanks for bringing it up. I agree. I wasn't. I wouldn't want us to be in that situation. Sorry, my kids are being ridiculous, but I think it's a good idea that we also have jobs assigned, so then that way we have somebody to go to person. But like you said, we can definitely switch jobs too. Like
we can switch.
As we discussed that earlier. I just want to put it in the recording so that way Reese and Kim can see it too. But as it is, this is what we're thinking, and I'm kind of more or less the coordinator, and kind of like I did a little bit of research on the game. But definitely all of us, we can switch, or we can cover each other, or we can split it up. And I mean, right now we're just guessing. None of these jobs were presented to us other than the writing job. That was the only one that this is a job someone has to do. Everything else, we're just guessing. Like, it looks like we're going to need someone to do this. It looks like this. And so we're thinking also to meet again, if I'm not mistaken, 6 p.m. on Monday, Mountain Time, Idaho time. So then that way, that's supposedly when it starts. And so then that way we can put in our inputs, because right now we can't edit anything. But at that time, we should be able to put in our inputs earlier on, because as we can see, station one's clogging.
To work on time with the project.
Yeah, we don't want it to be clogged for very long. And so Kim, Reese, and if I'm saying your name wrong or it's totally wrong, please understand that I'm trying to do. And you guys, for sure, if you have any other thoughts before we wrap it up.
No, I
had one question real fast in terms of meeting times. So would it make sense to have a bigger meeting on Monday to discuss strategy, who's doing what, stuff like that, but then also to have maybe a smaller meeting, so like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most, like each day or like every other day? That way, if a problem does arise, it's not just up to an individual person to see it. It's like, okay, well, if we meet 10 minutes every day or every other day, if there is a problem, we can all jump on it and problem solve together. Would we want to do something like that? Even if like the whole team can't be there, like even if it's just like me and Maria, I feel like that might be better than if it was just Maria trying to solve the problem.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I agree. I think we can plan. I don't know, like we don't know what Kim and
the only problem, well, I agree, but I thinking about what's his name? Reese. That his time right now is Sunday for him.
Yeah, so basically in the Philippines, you could think of it as the opposite. So you could say if it's 6 in Idaho, it's probably like 7 in. We can compare it for sure later, but basically it's morning versus night.
Yeah.
And
but for sure the Monday has to be at 6 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yeah, and I think we can definitely adjust the meeting time, but I think Simeon's got a point that we should have like at least a check-in. And if we can't do it as a Zoom, we can at least do it on WhatsApp and just kind of check in and say, hey guys, did everyone get a chance to look at things? What do you see? Does anybody see anything? I think that's a good idea. We could and for now we could just leave it at 6 across every single day. And then if that's our check-in, and if we see something that's kind of stressful, we can try to have as many people as possible go into a Zoom call and think through it. But we can definitely, if anybody sees anything, send it in WhatsApp and be like, you take a screenshot and be like, hey, screenshotting this right here, and then circle this thing, you know, or whatever. You can point out whatever you see. If you see something that's weird, and feel free to do research on this. We've found YouTube channels that talked about this, and there's different videos. Some of the stuff, it seems like it's tweakable that we, at least not right now, have any ability to change. But for these questions and answers that will be given to us. But I think we're off to a good start. I like.
Well, I don't have anything. Yeah, I don't have anything else unless you guys do.
I think we're good, and hopefully Kim and Reese will be able to watch the video and then give some feedback or some things that they think of, because I mean, for sure, as we play this game, we're going to be like, okay, that's a job, or this needs to be adjusted, or because we want to try to keep it even and fair for everybody to be able to participate and have a meaningful experience. But at the same time, we also have to get stuff done. All right, guys. Well, it's been great meeting with everybody. I motioned to adjourn the meeting. Oh, we had some written. Oh, okay, yeah. Smarticles. So I'll put it over here so people watching it can see. This is Simeon's written out some of our jobs. Right now, currently, I'm set to lead. We have Kim as accountant, Maria as a record keeper. And like a meeting, it'd be like recording the minutes, basically. We have quality control, Simeon, and data analyst is going to be Reese. And we can definitely adjust these things, but as it is right now, I think we're good. So I motion that we adjourn the meeting, and we'll see each other on Monday.
Okay, see you Monday.
All right,
see you guys.
Thank you guys.
Bye.